In a significant development, the Law Commission of India has recommended against the repeal of sedition law and has proposed some amendments instead. We're speaking to Senior Advocate Kapil Sibal in this regard. Sir, what is your take on these recommendations? Do you think sedition law has time and again been criticized and called out for being more draconian, including by the Supreme Court itself? Do you think these recommendations will effectively make the law more draconian?
I think two comments I wish to make. I think that the Law Commission is conceptually confused. You see, sedition law deals with government, agitation against the government and the policies of the government. That's part of our fundamental right under Article 19 to agitate, as long as it's peaceful, right? The Commission's recommendations and the write-up suggest that they have confused between government and state. And the Commission strangely says that it is our duty to ensure that there is a stable government. The stability of the government is not the function of the Law Commission. That's not the function of the Law Commission, right? The stability of the state or acts, especially violent acts against the state, there are sufficient laws to deal with them, including the UAPA, right? And what has the sedition law in the past been used against? Students, journalists, academics, right? Now, are these people anti-national? I mean, supposing a set of teachers in the university protest against certain reforms that are sought to be brought in by the government, and they hold agitations for several days, they will be prosecuted because the police inspector will say that this has a tendency to cause public disorder. So they'll be prosecuted. So why will anybody agitate? So the whole purpose, it seems to me, that the Law Commission has been commissioned to make these recommendations so that they can go to the Supreme Court and say, after they pass the law, that look, this law is necessary for India. Even the Law Commission says it. Yeah. Right? So they seem to be the mouthpiece of the government. That's what I think.
So your comment, but I'd like to ask you for your comment on the law minister's reaction to the recommendations, where you said that these are persuasive and not binding, and the final decision will be taken by the government after considering and in consultation with all stakeholders.
I think the law minister is right on two counts, that they are not binding, and the final decision will be taken after consultation with all the stakeholders. But that it is persuasive should not have been said by the minister, because persuasion only comes about after all viewpoints are looked at. And before he has consulted other stakeholders, he finds it persuasive, only leads me to believe that this has been commissioned.
So one question on with regard to the wrestlers' protests. Serious allegations have been made by the wrestlers, sexual harassment allegations in the FIR against Brij Bhushan Sharan. There has been no arrest as of now. So Delhi police sources have reportedly said that there's not enough evidence to arrest him. So legally speaking, can there be an immediate arrest in such cases, considering there's POCSO offense?
In most cases, there is immediate arrest. In most POCSO cases, there is no gap. The moment the FIR is lodged and registered, there is arrest. And quite frankly, I don't know what evidence the police wants. The police knows fully well that the details of the allegations suggest when this happened, how this happened, at what place it happened, around what time it happened. Right? Now, molestation of women doesn't happen in public spaces. It happens in private spaces. So what you're left with the person who molests and the individual who is molested, right? Yeah. Now, what kind of evidence do you expect? Only the statement of the victim who is molested. And what the police has to look at is, are there enough details in this statement to suggest that what the victim is saying is the truth, right? So the FIR has to be lodged immediately. In normal circumstances, of course, these are extraordinary circumstances because the man happens to belong to the BJP, and the BJP says, we are not like the Congress party. We never move against our own people, right? And of course, nowadays, the investigating agencies sing the tune of the powers that be. So in these extraordinary circumstances, with an extraordinary man who has extraordinary, qualifications, is being extraordinarily protected.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir. That was Senior Advocate Kapil Sibal with camera person Kirpal Singh. This is Srishti Ojha from New Delhi for India Today.